In our previous videos, we've created an if test with several else if blocks and finally a catch-all else block. We've also used the double ampersand and operator to simplify a nested if test, and we have used the dot equals method to compare one string to another string. In this video, we're going to take a look at the OR operator, and we're going to take a look at comparing numbers. So our example here, I'm going to go back to what we're modeling, which is an F-150. And let's say that I want to tow 10,000 pounds or more with my F-150. If that's the case, I can't use the 2.7 liter V6 EcoBoost engine. I can't use the 3.5 liter V6 engine either. I can use the 3.5 liter V6 EcoBoost engine, or I can use the 5.0 liter V8 FFV engine. So, or either one of these will satisfy the requirement that I can tow 10,000 pounds. So what I'm going to do now is put a few more prompts in. I'm going to say what's your towing capacity requirement, and then I'm going to choose, we'll just give the user maybe 3 engines to choose from. We'll say 5.0 liter, 3.5 liter, or 2.7. Just to simplify it, let's not worry about this first option. What we're going to do is we're going to say, if you selected this, or you selected this, and you selected 10,000 pounds or greater, then the combination is okay. On the other hand, if you chose 10,000 pounds or greater, and the 2.7 liter engine, that's not going to work. So let's go back and work on this part. Okay, first of all, just as we've done before, let's set up a string array that has the possible engine types. So I'll say string engine equals new string. Remember, if it's an array can hold multiple pieces of multiple strings, but we have to indicate that by putting the square blocks before the string, or sorry, after the string on each side of the equal sign. On the right side of the equal sign, we also have to give it a capacity, which in this case again is going to be 3. Okay, so we'll say engine 0. We'll make that one 3.5 liter. Let's see, what were our options again? Let's do 5.0, 3.5, 2.7. So let's start with 5.0 liter. Okay. Engine 1 equals 3.5 liter. Okay. And engine 2 equals 2.7 liter. Okay, now I'm going to make constants out of these again. The constants are going to look a little bit funny, so I might rename them. Alt-Shift-C, 5.0 liter. We'll just call this liter 50. Okay. 3.5 liter again, Alt-Shift-C, and pick, and we'll say liter 3.5. Now, why am I not saying 3.5 liter? Why am I saying liter 3.5? Because we can't start a variable name with a number, remember? So that's why I'm putting the liter first. Okay, once again, Alt-Shift-C, pick an expression, and we'll say liter 2.7. Okay, like so, that'll work. Okay, now we'll just kind of borrow what we have up here. Okay. In this case, I'm going to say selected engine equals choose, and let's change this to choose an engine type, and the title is going to be engine selection, and the options are going to be engine, and the default is going to be liter. Let's go ahead and say liter 50. That one's fine. Okay, so another one of these drop-down multi-selects. Okay, now the next prompt we need to do is we need to say, let's just use an old-fashioned JOptionPane.showInputDialog, just like we did before, and we'll say, what towing capacity do you want? We're going to make this one an open text. The user can type in any kind of text here, and we'll convert that to an int. So Alt-Shift-V, assigned to a variable, and we'll say str towing capacity. Okay, and then we'll convert to an int. So let me put some comments here. prompt for engine size, prompt for towing capacity. Okay, and then we'll say int towing capacity equals integer dot parseInt. Remember this one, the way we convert a string to an integer, str towing capacity, and terminate with a semicolon. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to put together a complicated if test. We're going to say if int towing capacity is greater than or equal to 10,000. Okay, notice that operator I used, the greater than symbol and the equal to symbol. That's because we're comparing numbers. And engine, selected engine. Now we're comparing strings, so we have to use the dot equals method. Selected engine equals leader 50, or is the double bar, selected engine equals leader underscore 35. Then we're going to say you've chosen a valid combination. JOptionPane.showMessageDialog, and we'll say you have chosen a valid combination of towing capacity and engine size. Terminate with a semicolon. Okay. Oh, sorry, I need to put in null comma, like so. Okay, now wait a minute though. I have an AND operator and I have an OR operator. Let's remember what our truth table says over here. With an AND operator, both sides have to be true for it to evaluate to true. If any side is false, the AND is going to resolve to false. With the OR operator, only one part of the equation has to be true for it to evaluate to true. Okay, what happens when we combine an AND and an OR? Well, it's a little bit tricky. It's going to evaluate from left to right. So for this to be true, either both of these have to be true or this has to be true. That gets a little bit confusing. But remember when we did order of operations, we said that you can use parentheses to group things together. Really, we want to do that here for clarity. Let's group together the OR part. So now what we have for the OR part, you either have to choose a 5.0 liter engine or a 3.5 liter engine for this OR clause to evaluate to true. Either one of those will let that evaluate to true. Now the AND part, remember for AND, both the left and the right have to be true. But since we have changed the order of operations by using parentheses, we're going to evaluate the OR first. If that's true, and the user has selected a towing capacity greater than 10,000, then we're going to come down here and say you have chosen a valid combination of towing capacity and engine size. Now we really ought to put an else part in here as well that says else if it's less than something like 5,000, then it doesn't matter what engine it is, that's fine. But what we're really concerned about here is if the user chooses a towing capacity of 10,000 pounds or greater, then the user must choose an engine which is a 5 liter or the 3.5 liter. Let's go ahead and put in an else part. Else if int towing capacity is greater than or equal to 10,000 and selected engine dot equals liter underscore 27, then we're going to say JOptionPane.showMessageDialog, you'll need a bigger engine to tow that much weight. You will need a larger engine to tow that much weight. Let's try it out. So I'll save. We're not so much worried about the parts that we've already done, the part about the cab and the bed. Now we're more concerned just about the weight and the engine size. And honestly, if it's less than 10,000, we're not going to worry about the engine. It's only the high towing requirement where we're going to worry about the engine. So let's go back and let's run this again. And run. And again, we won't worry about the first part, the cab And the bed length, that's fine. Okay, that's good. So choose an engine type, 5 liter. What towing capacity do you want? Let's say 12,000. You have chosen a valid combination of towing capacity and engine size. Okay, let's try one more time. And we're going to run. And choose a cab type again. Don't care about this. Okay, now choose an engine type. Let's choose the 2.7 liter engine, and let's go ahead and give it 12,000 pound towing capacity. You will need a larger engine to tow that much weight. So you see here we've used a combination of OR in the AND operation and some parentheses to kind of specify or document the order of operations that we prefer. And we've also used the AND operator down below in the lower if test. So if you find that you're combining a lot of AND operators, OR operators, or some combination of those two, I highly recommend adding extra parentheses. Even if the order of operations by default is what you want, parentheses for documentation will help to clear up what you're trying to achieve. Without that, it's easy to forget, wait, which comes first? Do I do the AND? Do I do the OR? I don't understand. Parentheses are always good to clear that up. So I'll go ahead and commit this to GitHub. As always, you're welcome to clone it. In the next video, we're going to look at a common use of OR, which is determining if a string has been populated. We'll see you then.